They baked the richest chocolate cake in history, using absolutely zero dairy. Open the pages of American history to the 1930s, the Great Depression's bitter heart. Families faced empty pantries, but the human desire for celebration and comfort never actually faded. They created something miraculous. A rich chocolate cake baked entirely without butter, milk, or eggs. It sounds impossible to modern bakers, relying heavily on rich dairy for moisture and structure. Yet this rationing-era masterpiece, often called Wacky Cake, holds a brilliant culinary chemistry secret. It relies on an ingredient you would normally never expect to find in chocolate desserts: white vinegar. It seems completely counterintuitive, but it is the absolute key to this puzzle. We will uncover exactly why this harsh acid transforms simple pantry staples into delicate crumbs. And we will mathematically scale this massive family ration recipe down perfectly for just 2. Preserving these forgotten methods helps us understand the incredible resilience of women who came before. During the 1930s, dairy and eggs were often unaffordable luxuries for everyday working families. My grandmother kept handwritten index cards detailing how to stretch meager rations into Sunday treats. We lost those cards decades ago, which drives me to document surviving historical recipes today. Looking closely at this original formula, the resourcefulness is staggering. Every ingredient serves dual purposes. The dry ingredients are remarkably humble: standard all-purpose flour, granulated sugar, and cocoa powder. But the technique is where the true genius of Depression-era home cooks reveals itself. Notice how there is no mixing bowl required. You build everything directly inside the pan. During hard economic times, conserving hot water and precious soap was vital for household survival. Washing an extra bowl was an unnecessary luxury. So the baking pan becomes the vessel. You sift flour, sugar, cocoa, and salt straight into the ungreased tin, creating powdery bases. Then comes the famous method. You carve 3 distinct depressions directly into the dry mixture: 2 small wells and 1 large well. It looks almost like a strange lunar landscape. This is not just a quirky tradition. It is specific control over chemical baking reactions. In the first small well, you pour a carefully measured spoon of pure vanilla extract. In the second small well, add white vinegar. The sharp smell immediately fills the kitchen. Into the large well goes neutral oil. Vegetable oil replaced expensive, unavailable churned dairy butter. Now the magic happens. You pour cold water over the pan, flooding 3 separate wells. The moment liquid hits dry ingredients, vinegar meets the baking soda hidden within the flour. A rapid acid-base reaction begins instantly. You can actually see the batter bubbling slightly. This foaming action creates thousands of tiny carbon dioxide gas bubbles within thick chocolate batter. Those bubbles provide structural lift and lightness that whipped eggs would traditionally bring to cakes. It is elegant science, executed perfectly by women who simply refuse to let families suffer. You must mix it swiftly with a fork, breaking up dry pockets hidden in corners. The batter will look slightly lumpy and thin, which often makes modern bakers panic slightly, but trust the history. This specific hydration level is required to activate cocoa powder starches. Now let us talk about the mathematics of scaling. Original recipes fed very large families. It filled a large rectangular pan, meant to be sliced thin over several long days. But today, we are scaling this down to a 6-inch square pan for 2. You cannot simply divide ingredients in half. The ratio of baking soda to vinegar remains. If you alter chemical balances, the cake will collapse into a dense, rubbery chocolate brick. We reduce the flour to exactly 1 cup, and vinegar to precisely 1/2 tablespoon. This maintains delicate balances, ensuring the crumb structure remains airy despite the smaller surface area. The baking time also shifts. A smaller pan means heat penetrates to the center faster. We bake this at 350 degrees for exactly 22 minutes, watching closely. While it bakes, filling the room with toasted cocoa scents, we prepare the historical glaze. Traditional buttercream frosting requires powdered sugar, heavy milk, and massive amounts of expensive churned butter. In 1934, that was simply out of the question for most American households. Instead, they developed a brilliant water-based cocoa glaze that hardens into a glossy shell. You whisk cocoa powder, a pinch of salt, and sugar into boiling water over heat. Heating cocoa in water blooms the chocolate flavor, making small amounts taste incredibly rich. Today, a tiny drop of vanilla is added off heat. It is masterclass resource stretching technique. When the cake emerges from the oven, it has a beautifully domed, matte, springy surface. The aroma is intensely chocolatey, completely hiding the sharp vinegar that gave it structural life. You pour the warm water glaze directly over the cake while still resting in pans. The hot cake absorbs a fraction of liquid, creating a dense, fudgy layer on top. As it cools, remaining glaze sets into a crackly crust that shatters beautifully when sliced. Let us look closely at the crumb structure. Notice how incredibly tender the interior remains. There are no eggs to dry out and no butter to harden at room temperature. It is softer than many modern cakes, relying on neutral oil and trapped carbon gas. Tasting this is like stepping directly back through time. The flavor remains remarkably pure today. You taste deep, roasted notes of cocoa powder first, followed by gentle, lingering, comforting sweetness. It does not taste like a compromise. It tastes like human ingenuity over difficult circumstances. The fact that such perfect desserts were born from profound scarcity is deeply moving historically. It reminds us that our ancestors did not just survive hard times, they created joy. They gathered around kitchen tables, sharing small slices of chocolate cake during the darkest years. Documenting these recipes in my journal ensures their brilliant, quiet resilience is never fully lost. We owe it to them to remember how to bake with resourcefulness, gratitude, and science. The next time you find yourself out of eggs or milk, do not abandon baking. Remember the Wacky Cake. Remember the 3 little wells, vinegar, and that magical bubbling reaction. I have adapted the full scaled-down recipe with precise measurements in the description below. Try making this small batch version for someone you love. You will be absolutely amazed. It is a perfect dessert for 2, requiring only 1 pan and basic cupboard ingredients. You are not just baking a cake, you are participating in American historical survival traditions. Every time we recreate these historical methods, we honor women who kept hope alive then. Their legacy is written in handwritten margins of old recipe cards, waiting patiently for us. I would love to hear about vintage recipes passed down through your own family tree. Did your grandparents have specific Depression-era dishes they continued making long after economies recovered? Please share their stories and clever kitchen substitutions with us in the comments section below. These memories are precious historical documents, and together we build archives of shared culinary heritage. Thank you for joining me today in the kitchen. Keep preserving flavors of the past.